Hey guys, this is GG for GB, and we are live. And today we're going to be talking about quantum ignorance, a new system of ignorance that the Jehovah's Witnesses into. So let's get the ball rolling.
Dean, how you doing? It's good to see you again, Dean. Hi, guys. Sit down.
But what is that? What is that? Hey guys, it's right there. Look it up. Dean Martin, Peter Sellers, Dom DeLuise, Nipsey. Go on YouTube. Look at it. Man, it's a funny skit. And we have to improvise. That's why we love Dean Martin, because he's fast on the cuff. And that's what we want to be today, fast on the cuff, and talk about quantum ignorance. You don't hear this in any Jehovah's Witness videos. But we're going to explain it to you. What is quantum ignorance? A new system of ignorance by my research staff. And let's see who we have here today. Jose Sagan. Jose Sagan from what city are you from, Sagan?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, from Pennsylvania. So Jose Sagan is going to be talking to us about quantum ignorance, a new system of ignorance.
Hey, Gilbert, do you want to give a little bit of a background on it? Because we were talking about ignorance. And there's a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who plead ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about a new system of ignorance. But you want to give a little background on the old ignorance that you were talking about earlier?
Was I like, oh yeah, like they
don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing, didn't see anything. They purposely just tune out every apostate unless it affects their checkbook. They just don't want to watch any videos. They don't care. I just got a text message from a guy whose mom is a Jehovah's Witness, and she don't want to hear nothing of it, and she's getting ready to kick the son out of the house. Crazy.
So the son's talking to the mom, telling them apostate things?
Yeah. Wait, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it.
Oh, so he's whistleblowing.
Oh, he's whistleblowing.
Yeah, let me write that down. Whistleblowing.
He's whistleblowing, yeah. We need to talk about that.
So he's whistleblowing because he's not an XJW no more.
Correct.
He's a whistleblower, and the mom ain't buying it.
She ain't buying it. And she owns, I think the deed of the house is still in her name, even though, he's the one that is deciding to take care of her, And if she gets rid of him, but this is the level of ignorance that people want to cover their ears, that they would actually hurt themselves financially. In your old age, getting rid of your son or daughter, that's crazy.
Do you have that example of quantum ignorance, that video?
Oh, so you want to see how the Jehovah's Witnesses take it to a new level?
Of ignorance, yeah. So it's rooted in their doctrine. This is the doctrinal issue of the Jehovah's Witnesses. You must be this ignorant.
Ivory?
Yeah, and who are you?
You're a convicted violent child rapist, and you're out here in the neighborhood?
No, wait, no.
1992 or so? A 9-year-old girl?
No, you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong.
Did you get convicted? Are you on the pedophile registry list?
No, not.
Violent offender?
No, you got it all wrong, mister.
Do I need to call 911? Are you supposed to be around children up and down the street here?
What you need to do is go.
No, I think you need to go, and
right there.
You should not be proselytizing when you're a pedophile or rapist. Child rapist.
I think he's an apostate. But go ahead.
When you what we saw there, now that is part of the Jehovah's Witness DNA. That's part of their religion from the Watchtower. That is the governing body. That is what we get from the governing body. They're so ignorant, they go to another level. They legislate, they ordain, they mandate, they command ignorance. That means when they're confronted with evidence in their face, they'll block their ears out. It's a new system of ignorance. They want to go to their deaths ignorant. They'll go to Judgment Day. They might even say to God the Father, nobody told me. They're that ignorant. It's another level where they think that they can physically block out any information that goes contrary to the Watchtower doctrine. Look at that guy. He's blocking out his ears. This is how bad the ignorance is in the Jehovah's Witness. You know, a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses think that we can make videos and somehow we can tell the Jehovah's Witnesses something about 607, 1914, 1925. They don't care. Any breath you expend out of your body, that's what the Jehovah's Witness looks like right there. They're not listening. There's nothing no ex-Jehovah's Witness or Watchtower whistleblower can say that'll make a Jehovah's Witness listen. They are into what is called quantum ignorance. That means it's legislated. It's impacted in their DNA. In their DNA of the Jehovah's Witness is a quantum ignorance. They have to shun everything out, any information out that goes contrary to their beliefs. It's pretty deep ignorance, huh?
Yeah, and there is a way out, you know, because we'll talk about that later, that they're being sunk into the black hole of ignorance. And in every black hole, there's a event horizon where once you cross it, it's over. You're going to get sucked in. Like letting your children die because of a lack of blood transfusion is crossing the event horizon, and it's over. It's over. The ignorance is now set in stone. J.W. Fairytale said it the best, Jesse. I haven't heard anybody say it more eloquently when he says, Armageddon has to come. Your personal Armageddon has to come in your lifetime. The only way for somebody to escape the black hole of quantum ignorance, right, this sucking force, is for literally a real life Armageddon to happen in your life. Because you're right. All of these videos and everything, it doesn't matter. But if that person receives that personal Armageddon, and we all have, almost all of us have, and all of our stories are personal Armageddons, then when we get sucked out of the black hole, we get pushed out before we get in, then we see these videos and it validates, you know, everything it validates the truth about the truth. So there's
Gilbert,
that. Yeah.
Everywhere in life, there's quantum ignorance. There's ignorance. But us as Jehovah's Witness, we experience a quantum ignorance. That means another level, a spiritual
new system.
Ignorance.
A new system of ignorance.
For example, there's always ignorance. Like there's this guy in your chat, John Mellencamp. And he says, is this dude real? But check this out. He's from California.
Oh.
My God. They got Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
My God. Really, if you're from California, you don't need a comment. You guys already lost. You already lost.
He loves you, Jesse. John's a cool guy.
I know, but he's from California.
I know. You know what? About half the people that watch the show are from California.
It's not my fault. That's not my fault. They bought the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gilbert, you know Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom today, the governor of California, their California governor, he called Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson mini cults.
Mini cults?
Yes. The followers, mini cults. This is the guy who's prettier than his wife. This is the guy who shuts down the restaurants. Now, California has the greatest restaurants in the entire planet.
Yes.
California has the most beautiful scenery in the entire planet in the United States. I don't care about the rest of the planet. We're the best. But out of the best, California is the best of us. And he shut it down. And then he wins by 60%. And then he says that Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson and his followers are mini cults. This is a guy who bases all of the laws based on sex and transgenderism. He's got sex in the brain, and then the whole state. It is the root work of his existence is sex. And he wants to say, is this dude real? I mean, if you're from California, just say, hey, ditto. Oh, hey, that's cool. Or viva la familia. You know, hey, ese vato. Something like that, you know? But you really can't be judging other people when you're from California.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, John, I love you, man. But my brother, he went on a tangent. Listen, I'm going to show you something. And hey, just to be nice to my friends here. Because I've
It was just a thought. It's just a thought that came to my brain.
There it is, guys, right there. It's processing. It's processing. There it is, ad. I'm really worried about these micro cults. Gavin Newsom in a panic because his son listens to Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. Let that sink in.
His son is probably 99 to 100% better off than most of the state.
Yeah.
And check out Jaffa. I'm in Africa, thank God. The West is like Sodom. Really? I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go. Jaffa, just stay there. Okay, go on.
Hey, man, what's wrong with you today? You're fighting.
I like everybody, but come on, man. If you're not from Arizona,
these micro cults, and that's threatening. Those are threatening words. I'm really worried about these micro cults.
Yeah.
Watchtower can start calling us cults. Think about that.
He's a government authority. He's worried about that's what you call microaggression or macroaggression.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a government, he's a servant of the people. Tyranny is when the people are afraid of the government. Freedom is when the government fears us. Well, he's afraid of these. But he's telling everybody that he's afraid that these guys are now, he doesn't call Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson a microcult. He calls his listeners, which is worse.
Yeah, it's. Hey, on the very top of the chat section, there's the link. So if John, you want to come in and fight back and give my brother.
Hey, I wasn't fighting. I love California, but all I said, this is the only thing I said.
Okay.
If you're from California, say hello, hey, hi guys, whatever. But don't be judging nobody. You guys got Gavin Newsom. That's a step down. Think about it. Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein. You guys aren't the smartest guys on the neighborhood right now.
Right now.
So just lay low. Yeah, you used to be. Yeah.
They used to be the greatest in the nation. Mm-hmm. Now they're at like $6 in gas and stuff. $6-7. Wow.
Gilbert, you know what? When I have family members come from California and people come from California, a couple of years ago, customers that I talked to, I swear to God, they come to Yuma, gas up and everything, and you talk to them, they all badmouth their state. I swear to God, during the pandemic, that didn't happen. A lot of the California people, they'd come here to play baseball and stuff because the parks were still open. So some of the Little League and some of the Major League baseball teams would come over here and play, and they'd buy the hotels, and they kept our town going. But they never badmouthed the California. You talk to people buying homes in Yuma that are from California, they badmouth their state all the time. Mm-hmm. So don't say I'm badmouthing. I have nothing on them. You ought to hear the California people living over here.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, yeah. It's pretty bad, and Texas is becoming just the same with the immigration. So quantum ignorance, a new system of ignorance that the JWs have entered into. And I just wanted to go back into that point. I already talked about it. It's the event horizon in a black hole. Once you pass a certain level, it's impossible. You can't leave. You're going to go in to the black hole. There's no escaping it.
Look, here's a event horizon. Let's take this. Let's do it in the blood policy. Mm-hmm. There's an event horizon when you get sucked into the quantum ignorance. When you listen to their 2 Thessalonians 2:7, whatever Bible text they take for or the blood, that was the shunning policy. But when they on the blood policy,
Mhm.
and you listen to the hospital, you're in the hospital liaison committee, and a brother dies on you, or a young child dies because of no blood. Maybe she has childhood leukemia and she refuses treatments. You reach the event horizon of quantum ignorance. You've led somebody's death. Or let's take the shunning policy. You take it too far, you disfellowship a kid and he commits suicide. He goes out to an oil field, one of them saguaros that go up and down, ties a rope, hangs himself. You as an elder have reached the quantum ignorance. You don't know what scripture you applied to this young kid, but he took his life on it. You can never come back. You're past the event horizon. Now there's blood. That blood of that brother who committed suicide is on your hands. That's the event horizon. All the doctrines of the Jehovah's Witness, when you know that they're wrong and you go against your gut instinct, you have reached the event horizon. There's no coming back. You had to have walked away from Watchtower right there before you go along with the murder.
The next one is the child sex abuse. So you're an elder, you let it happen. You're the governing body. You moved. I'll talk about this a little later. Christiane did a great video, governing body, and they're moving them around, shuffling them around. People commit suicide.
This is the event horizon.
Mm-hmm.
You're a young elder. Let's say you're 27 years old. How old were you when you were an elder?
22.
22.
No. I was 22, 24. I was 24 years old.
24. I was 27. And in our congregation, they considered me very old.
Yeah.
Because my brothers were already elders.
Mm-hmm.
And my younger brother was an elder. You were an elder. And I was 27. They go, hey, there's something wrong with you. Anyways, that's beside the point. They give you an elder book. That's when you learn about the 2-witness rule. Right there, you should leave. Now, you're approaching the event horizon. But when a child molester comes into your congregation, wants to be there, that's when you have to make a stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, the event horizon of the quantum ignorance. You know what is right and wrong, and you go along with Watchtower policies.
And then, Jesse, you don't know what's right and wrong after a while. You actually start believing that it's okay to move these people around congregations that are sex predators, and you think it's okay, that you have it under control. See, they actually start believing their own lies. And that, my friend, is when there is no returning. So sad to say, but some of our family members, I'm afraid, have this quantum ignorance, a new system of ignorance. They have gone so far into the Watchtower that there's no coming out.
Mm-mm. No,
only in a body bag.
Yeah, because they cross the event horizon. Now think about that. Let's say you're an elder, and I'm making this up, but the suicide. We take the suicide or the blood policy, and it causes the death of a young person. I guess if we were talking about rock and roll, we would call it you sold your soul. Watchtower owns you. That black hole owns you. You can't leave because you crossed the edge. You crossed the limits of what is acceptable. You went along now, and it doesn't matter what Watchtower says. It still ended up in the death of a young person.
That's the point.
Somebody's responsible for that. You were in their care. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Remember, it says, yeah.
That's I think in Revelation 4, when his brother Abel is killed by Cain, and what does it say? That the blood of Cain is crying out from the ground. I mean, when you think about those are very powerful words. The blood is crying out and literally chasing Cain while he's alive. Cain is running around because the blood is literally like, and
you know what? Let's talk about ignorance, for example. There's a lot of words associated with synonyms of ignorance. And I like to use a word called naivety. Naive.
Yeah.
And there are Jehovah's Witnesses who are naive to the secret dealings of the elders.
Yeah.
But we call this a new system of ignorance because there's always been a level of naivety. There's been a level of ignorance. But what we're talking here about the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society is that this is an enforced form of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
You must be ignorant. In other words, you can naturally be ignorant. Didn't know this. I didn't know that. You could plead ignorance. But with Watchtower, it's different. It's an encoded doctrine of enforced ignorance.
Let's explain it. Let's explain it right here. So, hey, brother Jehovah's Witness, let me show you this article about Gavin Newsom. I'm really worried about these microcults. Gavin Newsom in a panic because his son listens to Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. And what is the response?
Well, it depends on what level of Jehovah's Witness you're talking to. Let's say I'm talking to Javier Leon, for example. He'll say, where did you read that? And he'll go to Google search and he'll see Gateway Pundit and he'll see it's a right-wing extremist. And him and Sergio Velasquez will get together and they'll say, hey, Jesse's listening to right-wing extremist news reports. Forget the news report itself. They don't consider it news unless it's coming from jw.org. It's the only source of news they get, which jw.org gets its news from the United Nations. And everybody who doesn't toe the line, the elders can move a case to disfellowship this person. So this is why I'm saying this is a new system of ignorance. It's an enforced form of ignorance. Where in the Soviet Union, the state controlled the information. The state controlled the news, Pravda and the other newspapers. What we have with the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, a new form of ignorance, they get the news, and it's always left-wing communist news, Regs, that they quote, and then they give it to the witnesses. It's a new system of ignorance. It's an informed ignorance by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society.
Wow. So if the article comes out to be an InfoWars article, the brothers are going to do a judicial committee on you for watching Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And depending on who the elder body is and how fanatical they are, and whether they have marked you out for, maybe they covet your position in the congregation, they can use something as silly as that to kick you out. I mean, disfellowship you, or just or give you, or just censor you. But that's the new system of ignorance, that they don't care about the information. They don't care about the news. They don't care about what's really happening in the world. Their first question is what? Where did you get this from?
It's very dangerous. For example, let's take this. A couple of days ago, Dr. Fauci came out and admitted that the risk of myocarditis is present in the jabs.
Okay.
2 to 3 years after the fact. You don't think Jehovah had a reporter on this beat? You don't think Jehovah could have listened to Bobby Kennedy? You don't think Jehovah could have listened to Rand Paul? Any other doctor? But he only listened to the World Health Organization.
Mm-hmm.
Put in risk 7 million Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide. They weren't even informed. They don't even have, they're ignorant. The Jehovah's Witnesses are ignorant that a couple of days ago, Dr. Fauci admitted that there is a risk of myocarditis. He admitted this. This is in, do a Google search. It was a couple of days ago. Jehovah's Witnesses are quantum ignorant of it. In the old days, you would say, oh, they're ignorant of this news. No, they're not. They're in quantum ignorance because they didn't want to hear anybody else. And they put the risk of the lives of 7 million Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide, or the health, where they could have made an informed decision if they were just allowed to have information. Let the human conscience, because they call themselves conscientious objectors, will let humans have conscience. They take away the conscience of individuals and they insert a quantum ignorance Jehovah's conscience in them.
Wow. So another example.
Proselytizing when you're a pedophile.
What you need to do is go.
No,
Another
I think you need to go and he's
another example is you show this. You're a Jehovah's Witness. You show this video to the elders. Here's proof that you're having child sex offenders going door to door, offering home Bible studies to children, and then you show them I think it's Denver, Colorado news report where he finally admits it, and the elders said no door to door for you. The rest of the Jehovah's Witness elders, the rest of the people are going to be like this guy right here covering his ears. They don't want to hear it. Even something as that you could just see with your own eyes. Jehovah's Witnesses choose this. Quantum ignorance. Damn.
Yeah. And you know what? You chose your words real well, because they choose quantum ignorance. But what I'm saying is it's also mandated in the religion. You know how in certain religions tithing is mandated? What else is mandated in certain religions? Baptism, the first rites, all the stuff that is different doctrines of different religions. A central mandate of the Jehovah's Witnesses is this enforced quantum ignorance. That means you get all your news from Jehovah. That's it.
Enforced quantum ignorance. Wow. So, man, Jesse, that's 26 minutes of enforced quantum ignorance. Enforced quantum ignorance. Now, did you want to do a what is it called? A reaction video?
Yeah. You want to react to which video?
7 minutes.
Let's put it on. Let's watch. And I'll take my notes.
G for GB, and I want to answer the question: why do you, Gilbert, and other Jehovah's Witnesses always criticize and attack the Jehovah's Witness religion, JW.org, and Watchtower? I get this on email, and I've been getting this for years on phone calls and everything. So why don't I just make a short video and explain to you exactly why we continue fighting the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not petty, and we're not just disgruntled people. So you guys know I like to keep it very simple. So to keep it very simple, let me just show you this picture. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now let me explain this to you, why we ex-Jehovah's Witnesses continue attacking Watchtower. These aren't just mere words. To a lot of you Jehovah's Witnesses, these are just words. But I and millions of people are willing to die. I'm willing to die and give my life so that these words will continue on way after I live. Let's go over it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We as a nation believe this, although there's a small minority of people that do not believe this because they have a different agenda, a sinister agenda. But we, people who love what is good, love what is decent and holy, view this to be so self-evident that there really is no research or no thinking. It's obvious to the common man, to the common human being, that all men are created equal. But in the Jehovah's Witness religion, it's a caste system. You have a John class and the other sheep. Think about that, other sheep. Jehovah's Witnesses have a caste system where the leadership is the John class and every single one of you are other sheep. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And that's not true in the Jehovah's Witness religion. That they are endowed by their Creator. This is so fundamental. They're not endowed by Jehovah because Jehovah divides. Everywhere in this country, Jehovah divides everybody. But all over the earth, when people hear this, that they are endowed by their Creator, it unifies. That's why Jesus says, our Father in heaven, let thy kingdom come. When Jesus said, Father in heaven, it encompasses everyone. It doesn't divide people into sections, into camps. So when Thomas Jefferson says that they are endowed by their creator, every human being that was there in the United States understands that, hey, it's our creator. From the Native Americans, the slaves, and Martin Luther King. He wanted those words to come to life. He goes, I believe in those words. And Thomas Jefferson wasn't trying to divide people because he used the word creator. And he says, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the creator with certain unalienable rights. He enumerated them. He didn't blabber. He enumerated the unalienable rights that no one, no government, no individual, no husband, no wife, no parent, nobody has a right to take away what belongs to us. It's an unalienable right. Watchtower in New York can't take this away. And among these are life. And Jehovah's Witnesses destroy your life. Look at all of the videos about the hospital liaison. They want you to die by refusing a blood transfusion. If you go as a Jehovah's Witness and protest at a pro-life protest, you will be disfellowshipped. Jehovah's Witnesses do not let their members join forces with other people in the pro-life movement, and they give their elders binders, 3-ring binders of information on how to make sure somebody doesn't take blood, and if it means they die, they die. So Jehovah's Witnesses, what do? They try to take away our life. And he goes, our liberty. Jehovah's Witnesses also try to take away our liberty. The liberty to just choose whatever we want to choose. The liberty to decide and to think what we want to think. The liberty to make our lives up the way we want to make our lives up. The whole Jehovah's Witness religion and all of the information found on jw.org is designed to limit your ability and to only put it into the framework of Jehovah and his organization and the pursuit of happiness. And now that we're entering the fall season of 2023, we have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have New Year's, the pursuit of happiness. Jehovah's Witnesses, their whole religion is saying, no, you can't pursue these things. You can't be happy in the fall season. You can't pursue the celebrations in the summer, the celebrations in the spring. You can't pursue your dreams and aspirations, your pursuit of happiness. And if you do, we will mark you as a very dangerous individual who's a potential enemy of Jehovah God. So Jehovah's Witnesses, let's read this again. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The reason we make these videos is because Jehovah's organization here on earth, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, is against everything millions of people in the United States and all across the world hold dear. Jehovah's Witnesses and their teachings, their way of life, is a direct attack on the words that we are willing to die for. That's why, my friend, we are continue doing what we're doing. We fight because these words are worth fighting and dying for. I hope I answered your question.
I like that. I like the ending, the real GB.
So let's react to me because, you know, we're not narcissists here. We don't.
You know what? And you know what? That's true. You get tired of talking about you. Let's talk about your video.
Yeah, let's talk about my video.
All right. Now, why did you make that video? What was the purpose of it?
I've been thinking about it a lot this week, and I wanted to like to simplify it, keep it simple, and also have it like in the archive. So when someone calls me, emails me, like just here it is, you know. because I find myself repeating the same thing over, like in telephone conversations and in emails. This way, I could just point to them.
And you know what? Something interesting. If you're navigating through YouTube or different social media, and it just so happens that you run across a Thomas Jefferson video or a founding fathers, I noticed that our communist colleagues and our Democrat colleagues and our progressive colleagues, they'll always tell you, have you noticed in YouTube is full of them, who Thomas Jefferson had sex with? They always tell you all of the sexual proclivities of Thomas Jefferson. Have you noticed that? Go to YouTube and just put in Thomas Jefferson, and they tell you all of his sexual secrets and stuff. But they can't tell you who Joe Biden has sex with. They can't tell you Barack Obama, but they can tell you a guy 300 years ago or 250 years ago. You ever notice that? That was just something interesting. They like attacking Thomas Jefferson for some reason. Yeah, just do a quick YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't want to know what Hillary Clinton did. They don't want to know nothing, but they want to uncover everything about Thomas Jefferson. I just found that interesting.
Yeah. So what else did you find interesting about the video? Not to be talking about me.
Well, you break down, I think something that a lot of people don't talking about is unalienable. Now, since we were little kids and we studied the Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, this term unalienable, it's not a word that we use a lot in the English vernacular, everyday vernacular.
At all. Mm-hmm.
And you wonder how, what is the force? Something that I've been pondering since I was a little kid. What is the force behind the United States Constitution? Because because a lot of people are not following the United States Constitution. I'll go down just 2 miles down from my house, the border. It's open border. Nobody's enforcing law. Go down just all the unconstitutional acts. There was in Congress 2 days ago. They were talking to the Attorney General. He was embedding secret agents inside the Catholic Church. They put a stop to it, but they did it. These are the people that preach separation of church and state. So you see that, and there has to be love. There has to be love. Love is the most powerful word in the Constitution that's not in the Constitution. The word love, the action of love, only appears in the Constitution in the Bill of Rights. The rest is all mechanical. It talks about qualifications, age, taxes, levying war, levying taxes. But when we get to the Bill of Rights, then it puts a limit on the power, and it instills the freedoms of every individual American. And therein lies the word unalienable rights. But you always think, well, the government can force you to do this unconstitutional. Yes. But you still have some unalienable rights that nobody can take away. They can kill us. And they're going to be held on Judgment Day for doing the atrocities if they go to and that's what I tell everybody. I tell everybody who votes twice, for example, or everybody who's involved in voter fraud. These people need to be told, if there's a Judgment Day and there's an American wing in heaven, can you imagine, let's say you're a vote cheater, or you're one of these guys that puts in 2 votes, or they stuff ballots, and you die. Can you imagine what waits you? Can you imagine if Martin Luther King is there? Can you imagine if those 13 people that died in Afghanistan on the pullout are there? What are you going to tell Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy? If you cheated America, or if you cheated somebody's freedom of speech. Let's say you work at Facebook or YouTube and you censored an American. And when you die, what are you going to tell your maker? When humans were given certain unalienable rights and you took it away from an American, don't you know there's a cold, hot day in hell where you're going?
Mhm. Yeah. Now, on the video, I talked about how everything, everything, all of these people here hold dear, holy, and pure, sweet, everything. Watchtower is 100% against it. Everything Watchtower is doing is 100% attack on everything that we hold dear that was perfectly condensed down in the words of Thomas Jefferson.
There's an irony. There's a paradox here, because Watchtower making love to the New World Order, and they're making sweet, unholy, wet love to the New World, to the United Nations. They don't understand that if we lose freedom of religion here, that spells the end to the Watchtower. So you have to think there's something more sinister here. Watchtower's fealty after God the Father should be to the Constitution. But they'll quote the United Nations. But you notice, you go to jw.org right now, click the first magazine. You might see the United Nations, but you'll never, ever see a quote of Thomas Jefferson, who was trying to empower the human so that he can go to the Kingdom Hall, where before he couldn't, because there was a Church of England, there was a Catholic Church, there was a state church. But you come to the United States and you can have a Kingdom Hall. You can have a Jehovah in your Bible, but maybe in other Bibles you have to have the state religion. Don't you think that a nation that dedicated itself to give you the freedom to believe what you believe, that you're a Jehovah's Witness, that God is Jehovah, don't you think you should have a little bit of fealty to that document, to that belief? They don't.
Here is a hold on, I'm just going to fix this thing. So if you go to jw.org right now, you're going to find on almost every page, every article, that they are quoting the United Nations as the source. Processing. There it is. Go ahead. I'll get the next one ready. You see that?
It says the climate emergency is frazzling, yada yada yada, cities ecosystems. It's Inger Anderson, Under Secretary General of the United Nations. Okay, he's talking about the climate. Why couldn't they put Al Roker? Well, they're both leftists and everything, but let's say, why couldn't they have gotten why couldn't they got anybody from the United States, for example, a weather reporter? You know, it's a miracle they're not quoting Al Gore. It's a miracle. It's not Michael Moore.
Here's the one you wanted to talk about. Here's another example. You go to jw.org, and this is, remember Jesse says the sweet love, that Watchtower is like making love to the United Nations? Go ahead.
See, look right there. First of all, Jehovah's Witnesses teach that Satan is the father of the lie. That picture. Now, here's the thing about Jehovah's Witnesses on social media. I say in social media, I say this is computer generated imagery. And they come back and say, no, they're using it for effect. No, Satan is the father of the lie. Your average Jehovah's Witness who sees this on a Watchtower Awake magazine, they're going to believe this is a real picture. What I'm telling you, 50% of the Jehovah's Witnesses don't have the mental capability to understand that that's computer generated imagery.
Mm-hmm. So when your Jehovah's Witness family member sees this, 50% of them, that's a good number, where that's generous, believe this is real. And the fine print tells you it's not.
Flip it to the commentary. Oh, it says, the climate emergency is frazzling. Inger Anderson. There's another one right now. It's talking about the corrupt politicians. If you go to the one right now, on today's date. And same thing. They always go to a leftist source. Do you have any other one?
No, just that. They talk right there how the Bible speaks of a government that can and will solve all of Earth's environmental problems. They keep talking about a government, a government, a government, a government. And you know what is not in that article? The word Jesus. So maybe their God that's going to solve the Earth's problems is not the God that you're thinking they're talking about. It's
Yeah.
It's double speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know how they say God has a plan, God has a plan. Well, so does Klaus Schwab. And he has a plan to solve all of Earth's environmental problems. Yeah, it's killing 7 billion people, 8 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no mention of Jesus here.
No, and you know what? For somebody who's so religious and they say that they're politically neutral, they do bring up the word government a lot.
Yeah. And if you're politically neutral, you would think you would stop making sweet love in open air and open public with the United Nations. But in all of their publications and every article that Watchtower is popping out, it's an open love fest with the United Nations.
And the Bible says, Jesus says, give the things to God, and the things to Caesar, to Caesar. The United Nations is not Caesar. They haven't been elected by no human being. These are unelected bureaucrats. And Watchtower should know that better. They don't have an authority. The only authority they have is the image of an authority, the image of a beast. But they are not a beast. It's a fake authority. They're not legitimately elected to anything. They're not a monarchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the image of the beast, the United Nations. Think about that, guys. The United Nations, image of a beast. Jesse, man, you and I have been talking about this for ages. So, you know, they have a flag, they have soldiers, they have everything.
But they've never been elected. They don't have no bloodline to be a monarchy, for example. A monarchy has more legitimacy. A democracy has more legitimacy.
I forget the name of the word, but there's a currency. I forget the name of it, but it's a currency that is used by the United Nations and their bank. And so the United States can change money with other people. You and I don't have access to this currency. It's only from the United Nations.
What are they, Jehovah bucks?
Kind of like Jehovah dollars. And so it's an image of a beast. They're not a beast. They're an image of a beast.
Mm-hmm. Or a counterfeit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what's that comment?
What's that?
It says, blah, blah has a comment.
It says, you got a Bible called New World Trans, made by a guided and clairvoyant, guided by demons and spirits, not a good thing. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. We'll be talking about probably the trans. I got to get all that stuff up about the trans. We got some information about some trans tomorrow. I think you guys are going to like. The Canadian speaks. Maybe the UN made a deal with Watchtower to hand out go bags. I'm with you on that one. When the supposed end comes. I already addressed this, Vern, on an old video, and I says that Watchtower, Jehovah's Witnesses, we were petri dishes of the New World Order. So what you're describing right there is like a petri dish experiment. Yeah, the go bags. Hey, we have an idea. The go bags. So who are we gonna call? Call Watchtower, and we'll play with their lab rats. And also years later, I made another video where Netanyahu admitted that his whole country was a lab rat. He let the cat out of the bag.
Hey, Gilbert, and you know what? You know what the interesting, when Jesus prophesies the end of the Jewish system of things in, I sound like a Jehovah's Witness, but the fall in Masada and Jerusalem in 70, what did he say? about going to the mountains. Did Jesus say to go back in the house and get your go bag?
No,
What did he say? Do you remember?
just drop everything and go.
Yeah. So there was supposed to be a faith in Jesus's words. The preparation is Jesus Christ. See, we as humans, we think that we have to have a gold bag. We think we have to have silver. Like, let's say you're in Maui when the fire and brimstone happened. What gold bag could have saved you?
In which one?
In Maui.
No, they were radiating. It's impossible.
I know, but let's say that's not my argument. When the fire and brimstone happened, what gold bag could have saved you?
A blue one that extended. No, it's just the only thing that could have saved you was a blue carp.
What I'm saying is, follow me on this.
Oh.
The attacks on humanity are so great. They're coming out of the sky. They're coming out of the water. They're coming out of the air. They're radiation, everything. We have to prepare spiritually to meet our maker. We have to be a clean people. That means, like, let's say, who are the people that are spraying us, contaminating us? They're Americans. They're like us. They're our sons and daughters doing it to ourselves because we failed to teach them love of God and country. A person who loves God and country would not do that. He'd rather die than to radiate his brother. He'd rather die than to participate in Spain. We as Christians have failed.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have taught love like the Beatles did, all you need is love. Mm-hmm. It's stronger than the military sword. Because then our brothers and daughters would be working there and they would tell the general, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, in the Soviet Union, the kulaks, the ones who owned land, and they were put into the machinery of the system, came up with a saying called a wrench in the system. You know what a wrench in the system means?
Yeah, it breaks down the machine.
Giving it to the man. Yeah, because what happened is their lands were taken away. Everything was taken away from them, and they were shoved into this industrial work plant. And so they would put a wrench in the system to mess up the gears of the wrench. And when Schindler was making munitions in World War II, what were the Jews doing? They weren't making it up to spec so that it would fail in the field. That's what we do as Christians. As Christians, we don't participate. Somehow we don't participate in hurting our fellow Americans, hurting our fellow Christians, hurting our neighbors down south, hurting our neighbors down. If you have a job, if you're a Christian, for example, and you're a Border Patrol agent, and you're seeing a mass and nobody's enforcing the law, you walk out of that job. You can't participate in it. If you were a Nazi soldier during World War II and you saw the execution of Jews, you can't participate in it. Because you know there's a judgment day and you're next. You will be judged for the things you do. But we've gotten away from teaching these things. Mm-hmm. That's the best preparation. Mm-hmm.
And it's done because, and this is how Watchtower has done it with everybody, just like the government. And so you know it's a sinister, it's satanic in nature by in creation. It's by compartmentalization. Everything is compartmentalized. So that way, like when you're poisoning something, you don't even know that you're doing it because you're just one part of many. And you're like, you don't know that you're part of that system. And so this is why.
This is the beauty of the Christian preparation.
Mm-hmm.
The Christian preparation is so big. It covers all departments, all compartments.
Correct. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. But that's how they get the compartments, the different departments is like a soft kill. You know, because they know that you probably would say no. It's just like you're saying. But if you can soft kill them, well, then that's different.
You know what? I heard, mm-hmm. Not Jordan Peterson, but the gentleman from California, one of the smartest brains in the country right now. What is his name? Is he from Berkeley, I believe? Wow, I forget his name. Victor Davis Hanson. And he was talking about that. how the destruction of the American middle class. How is it allowed to continue? Well, because there's so much of welfare state that people don't feel the pain. For example, let's say Ronald Reagan was president, or let's say George Bush was president, first, second, or take any Republican in the United States, and gas went from $1.90 to $6. What would happen to any Republican in national office? Yeah. Do you remember when George H.W. Bush was president in 1991 and he had a 90% approval right after Gulf War I? And they started saying, there's a recession, when there was no recession. And gasoline went up to like $2 an hour. They wanted to kill him. But gas has been for 3 years over $4, $5, $6, 7 or 8, depending on where you live. And nobody says nothing. Why is that? Our media hates us, you and me, more than they love their country. They will destroy the country to prove us wrong. And that's what you have to know about the Jehovah's Witnesses also. Your brother and sister hate you so much. They hate me so much. They will die. They will drink the Kool-Aid to prove us wrong. They will go into quantum ignorance to prove us wrong. They hate us that much. Our brothers and sisters, our Jehovah's Witness brothers and sisters, there's no way in hell you could be right. And you always said that about God. You always said that God uses who?
The person you like the least.
Mm-hmm. We're the least among.
I always said that if God has a message and he wants to give it to John Cedars, he's going to give the message to Mike and him, and they have to deliver it.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. That's how you know you really love truth. Because when the truth comes knocking at your door, if you really love the truth, you don't care who's delivering it, because you really love the truth.
Exactly.
That's so hard, man. I mean, it sounds pretty, like a preacher. I'm a preacher. It sounds pretty, but man, to put that into practice in real life, that's a large pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, Gilbert, man, we're coming up on.
Yeah, just answer that question. Answer that question.
Okay, how can you be in the system and no part of it? Man, I wish I knew. You know what? I spend hours and hours thinking about that. You know, what did Jesus says? My followers are no part of this world.
But yet he loved the world.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, those are profound words, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to think about. So you think, Jesse, we gave them their money's worth? You think you guys could donate and help me buy a Lear jet, because I deserve to fly around in
Gilbert, you're not Warwick Pimo.
That Creflo dollar, like that Creflo dollar, yeah.
You're not Warwick Pimo.
Yeah.
What did fixing my face say?
The system is made up of hate, anger, separation, and tolerance. So we do the opposite. We simply love.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's true. But that's very hard. I mean, yeah, what he's saying is pretty, but man, putting it into practice, it really is hard. It can be done. It can be done, but yeah.
That's a great angle. I didn't think of that. Mm-hmm. I've never heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's the only problem is sometimes, like, we think love, and sometimes you can love someone to the point where it's now toxic, because they use that phrase tough love. So yeah, it's as human beings, it's a balancing act, man. And I think that's why God makes it so hard for us to understand. So we have to ask questions. It's okay to make mistakes, but we're eventually going to figure it out. The one thing I do know is that we're on the right track. I feel it. We're on the right track. I can tell we're not on the track of hate, anger, separation, and intolerance. I know we're not going down that road. I can feel it. I do feel that we are on the opposite side.
Speaking of intolerance, go back to blah, blah. He quotes Shakespeare. Now, we'll go to be or not to be. That is the question. 2, all the rules of stage and all men and women are merely players. I don't believe he says and women.
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare was not a Democrat, Shakespeare. But anyways, the reason I love Shakespeare so much What are the words? And I think I've told you over and over again. What are the words Shakespeare didn't mention in all his plays?
What?
Misinformation or conspiracy theory. He
Yeah.
just simply let yes be yes or no be no, to be or not to be. He didn't go to be or a conspiracy theory. You know, he said no, to be or not to be. It was simple. In the English vernacular of all mankind, we never had that misinformation, disinformation, none of that until our lifetime.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of landmines. Be careful. And it's okay to use it. It's just the problem, Jesse, is like I was telling somebody else, all cognitive dissonance, all that stuff. It all sounds pretty. All of those words sound pretty. It's just I'm terrified. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness cult member, you know, and I'm terrified. Remember, I broke Jehovah, my nail broke. Oh, Jehovah, you know, this, you know, they use Jehovah for everything. And, you know, sometimes you would go out to dinner and people are like using Jehovah like 40 times in a 60-second span. And so it diminishes the word. So that's how I feel about cognitive dissonance. That's how I feel about critical thinking. That's how I feel about all of those things. Because I do believe that words mean things. I do believe in all that stuff, you know, that great breakthroughs in psychology, and we figure things out. We've given them names. I believe all that stuff. I'm just mortified, scared of going down the road of sounding like a Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah. Critical thinking. Kind of this. That's where my fear is only. Not that you're using it. It's just I don't want to be that way.
Hey, Gilbert, it's over a minute. That was a great rant. But I got to go because my ex-lover just flew in from overseas. And her name is Giaffa. And I got to go meet her at the airport, pick her up, show her around town.
Okay. So, just before you go, we'll do this one last time.
Dean, how you doing? It's good to see you again, Dean. Hi, guys. Sit down.
Jesse wants to go, so we'll see you later. I'll stick around and close it out.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to try to get out of here.
Okay. So I hope you guys like that. Remove from studio. Yeah. Linda James is not coming on until I think October. I don't know much about the Freemasons. What about woke, sustainable, my pronouns? Okay. Yeah. I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. So let's read this. Talk about your work, how your boss is a jerk. Talk about your church and your head when it hurts. Talk about the troubles you're having with your brother, your daddy, your mother, and crazy ex-lover. I wish I had an ex-lover, you know, but I don't. Yeah, you know, I mean, at least you can go to bed and, you know, dream about it and then, but no. That, yeah, I don't have that. No Reese today. No. Good thing is I gave half of those chocolates to a young boy, so I didn't have to eat all of them. And I would have because they were delicious. And has anybody seen Reese lately? Has Reese gone AWOL like Anthony Morris? That's a question. Get Jimmy as a guest. Yeah, you know what? We love Jimmy. I love Jimmy Bell. I just want to say, and I was mean. I threw the comedy out there, but hey, you wanna accuse Rick of being a double agent, and then say, well, you know, I'm just saying, I got my no. Say it. Stab somebody in the front, because when I went after Selena, you guys saw the video. I itemized it. Okay, at this minute. I didn't go once. I didn't go twice. I had like about 30 different line items. You guys saw the video. So when you say that you have your suspicion that Six Screens is working for Watchtower, or he has to be, because if it has to be for money. Why else would he do it? You better damn well say 1 reason, 2 reasons, 3 reasons, 4 reasons, 5 reasons. And this shit about, well, how do I know that he really got an email? Well, how in the hell do we know you really got an email? And I'm not going to be going through people's private emails or private bank statements. And the other thing is this: everything Rick Farron has said in the last 2 decades, Jesus says, from the abundance of Rick's mouth, his heart has spoken. Or his mouth has spoken. And I say the same thing with Jimmy Bell. Everything that Jimmy has said has come from his heart. And he's proven by his words and his actions that he's a good guy. Yeah. But shit, I'm not going to sit here and let Jezebel come into the scene, cause a whole bunch of shakeup, and not throw a smackdown. And tell Jezebel, who the hell do you think you are, calling Rick Farron, somebody who working for Watchtower, accuse him of that, and then say and flush down the toilet all of the work that everybody has done for the decades before Raymond France and the decades and the generation after Raymond France. And she goes on to say that it was years and years of wasted effort. No, I'm getting ready to throw an F-bomb, but no, absolutely not. Everything all of you people do is not wasted effort. And that deserves an apology. That deserves an apology. And I'm going to put it down right here. Hashtag Selena apologize. I'll do it later. I was probably going to do it this weekend, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But if you go to Twitter, it says Selena apologize. Hashtag Selena apologize. So you don't have to go into a big argument. You have to fight her. Just hashtag Selena apologize. You can see it on Twitter. But no, that shit has to come to an end. You know, if somebody, look at Vern is here watching, if somebody comes and says that Vern's secretly working for Watchtower or we can't trust him, bullshit. You better enumerate the reasons. Now, let's go with Warwick Pimo. I said, I hope I'm wrong. I said it. I hope I'm wrong. And I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gave you the reasons why I said I don't fall for this Warwick Pimo stuff. You can if you want to. But I enumerated them. And I also said that I hope that I'm wrong. So no. It's time. You know, I don't usually do this all the time, but damn, I'm not afraid to throw down on a Jezebel that comes in and starts causing mayhem. And besides, where the hell is her restraining order? She threatened the life of Anthony Morris. She's going to mow his ass down. No. I haven't heard junkie like that since Rick was attacked during the Johnny the Bethelite tribute. Rick is using his own potty soundboard. No, I love Rick, man. No. Oh, yeah. And then what about the 400 million views? She said basically that everybody in the United States and Canada has seen her video. That's how much, 400 million people. Really, man? Really? Spell your Twitter handle. No, it's GG4GB. How hard is that? GG4GB. But it's GG, one word, 4, middle initial, last name GB. She's still a lawnmower? I don't know. Maybe she's a weed whacker. Whoa. I enumerated for view why Watchtower, Ken Paxton connection is crap. First of all, I don't know who View is, and I don't know who Ken is. Sorry. I love this. We went from Leather King to Mower King. Boom. Genius. I mean, gosh. How in the hell did Jesse, how in the hell did blah, blah, blah get this past our research? We have a great research staff here at the GG4GB, and blah, blah, blah just killed it. Yeah. I searched it. No, but Herbal Queen. Wow. So guys, that's pretty much, now we got 15 people watching the show. We had only 3 at the very beginning. Bubo is the Phoenix YouTuber, XJW of Arizona. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Was he in Warwick or something? I don't know. You guys in darkness yet? 23rd of September, huh? She's the queen of Jimmy's double wide trailer. That was funny. Hey, listen, yeah. Hey, you know, if they want to dish it out, we're going to make a special announcement tomorrow. We're going to make an announcement, and it's basically, I can't tell you all the details. Tomorrow, we're going to make an announcement about the whistleblower versus apostate. But I will let you know that whistleblower, great. If you want to be a whistleblower, Godspeed. All the power to you, and we are applauding you all the way, all the way. But we will make an announcement about that tomorrow. And so, guys, if you want to be a whistleblower, or if you want to be an apostate, or if you want to be something else, I will kind of give you a clue. I'm gonna put it right here. Here we go. A whistleblower. That's pretty good. We're gonna have Team Apostate, and we're gonna talk about that. But what's gonna go? We're gonna kick it up a notch, like Emer Lagasse. Team Apostate is real simple. I'll go over to the details about it. But do you remember Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie when they were both fighting for the same guy? And some were Team Apostates, and some were Team Angelina and Team Jennifer. Well, it's the same thing. You got to pick your team. And if you want to be Team Whistleblower, go be Team Whistleblower. But I choose Team Apostate because my forefathers were apostates. The generation before Raymond Franz were apostates, and the generation after Raymond Franz were apostates. And all of the work that they did was not wasted effort. And I'll be damned if I let some Jezebel come in and piss on the graves of all of the great men and women who have fought Watchtower. Yeah. Quit. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I remember. Oh. Okay. Apostates are serving other gods. Are you serving other gods? Okay. Crazy. Jesus was an apostate. So was John the Baptist, and has chopped off his head. My first wife was a whistleblower. I can see a lot of people saying, you know what, Gilbert, I want to go Team Whistleblower. But Dan and Angela says, you can always come back. You can always come back. Okay? You can always come back. So you can always come back and be part of Team Apostate. Guys, that's all I have with the 1 hour, 13-minute mark. I could stay here longer and burn the midnight oil with you, but I don't have the stamina and I just don't, that Linda James has and others. Franz still picks up. So you guys didn't want to come in on the StreamYard? All you have to do is click that link and you get in. Wow. You know what we ought to do? You know what we ought to do? We got to have a theme song for the Team Team Apostate. We have our song, right? We have a lot of songs. We have the Apostate anthem. If you go to GG for GB here on YouTube, you go to my channel, search the GB anthem, you'll find it. You'll find the GB, the Apostate anthem, the Apostate anthem. Now, I'm trying to find it here. Maybe we can have a theme. Maybe we can have a theme song for the team. What do they call Team Whistleblower? So you want to be a whistleblower, huh? I gotta wait for the 5 seconds ad. Skip ad. Team Whistleblower. That's it, guys. The Team Whistleblowers. Hurry up. That's it. These are the whistleblowers of the Watchtower. That's right. Hey, I gotta put a stop to this. I'm not gonna be like other people and get mad. I don't get mad at the people in the comment section. But blah blah blah, man. What the hell? Come on, we love you. Freemason Walt Disney 666. Everybody's a Freemason in your world. You accuse Thomas Jefferson. Hey, I might have to be a Freemason, you know. I feel left out. But I think a lot of people in the Freemasons, this is just my opinion. A lot of people that were in the like Freemason and stuff, and this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Just tell me what you think. You know, the guys in the pyramid, what are they called? The Masons. Yeah, yeah. I think it was just like a fraternal order, and they went there just to, you know, get government contracts to be, you know, and they were on the way low level, but they weren't there for the satanic rituals and all that shit up on the top. They just went there for the money, you know, kind of like the 10%. You know, God, I give you 10%. I give you 10%, and you love me, right? You love me. Yeah, kind of like the Mormons, right? You give Moroni 10%, and next thing you know, you're cutting all of the grass in all of these businesses, you know? Yeah, because they love you, because you're donating. So dig the rabbit holes. Damn right. So no, Walt Disney 666. So look, Snow White is 666. Dang, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's a Mason on your book, which is okay. But I gave you my opinion. That's where I stand. I'm an expensive Mason. I'm an inexpensive Mason. That's right, because he's a Mexican. An inexpensive. Yeah, Mexicans always do that work cheaper. Do your homework. I will, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Blah, blah. That's the thing. I don't go to school no more. And I didn't go to college. And I don't do a lot of homework. But hey, man, if you want to do it, that's fine. I'm just telling you what I believe. But man, the whole damn world's gone. The whole damn world's Mason. That's what it sounds like to me. Ronald McDonald is a Freemason. And that, you know what? You're probably closer to the truth on that than blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm telling you, you know, yeah. Have you seen what they do to the chicken nuggets? Oh my God. Do your study. Okay, I will. Joan of Arc was a Freemason. Study up. Man, what are you, Jehovah's Witness? No, just kidding. Study up like Charles Taze Russell. See what happens with all that studying? My brother Jesse, I love that quote that he says about research. All of these people are researching and go, how did all that research work out for Charles Russell and Joseph Rutherford and all of us? So sometimes research isn't a good thing. That's all we're saying. Get an education. Oh, that's true. Hey, I'm not mad at you, blah, blah, blah. I like you. It's just, I'm just saying, you know, I came out of a cult and I'm afraid of a lot of things. So you got to forgive me and just be patient with me. You know, this Freemason thing, it's too much for me. This Johnny the Bethelite was a Freemason. And that's, you know, I believe that because, you know, my brother Jesse was here. There was an elder, a real, very rich, prominent elder in Yuma, self-made millionaire. And we're not saying he's a Freemason, but my brother Jesse was invited to go give a bid at a Freemason church. And he wasn't going to do it, but he went because he knew the guys and stuff. And Jesse was a Jehovah's Witness elder at the time. And he was basically telling him, no, I can't do it, boom, 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 boom. But, he gave him some advice anyways on the project. And he asked him why. He goes, well, because in our religion, explained to you. And he says, well, we have people from all the religions here at the Freemason church. And Jesse goes, yeah, but you don't have people from our religion. And he goes, well, what religion again? He goes, I'm Jehovah's Witness. And the guy, without batting an eye, just said, no, yeah, we have a few elders here. See, they're in there. They're self-made millionaires, but they got help from the Freemasons. So that's just my belief, that a lot of Jehovah's Witness elders, Mormons, whatever, they're not Freemasons because they believe in Freemasonry or the occult or anything. This goes to blah, blah, blah. I just really think that they're there because they want the government contracts. They want to work. They want the money. That's all. That's why the Jews give 10% of their money to the Jewish church, because they get the contracts, And if somebody needs a car loan, well, you go to him. If somebody needs a house loan, you go to the other guy. And why? Because they all pay into the system. That's what I believe. But it's more simplistic. And I know you are more, you know a little bit more about it than I do. California was a Freemason, damn right. We have 3, he told me. We have 3. I forget. I don't know. I'm getting out. So guys, it's late. It's already 11 o'clock Pacific time, 1 hour and 21 minutes. And I'm running out of gas. I wish Linda James was here because she's a pro at this. And don't you guys like the format with the StreamYard? Because all of the drunks, like the Wyatt, remember that drunk guy from Arizona, Wyatt? Yeah, he can come on, but then if he starts going crazy, we can just mute him. So we just need more people using the StreamYard link, the StreamYard software. Trust me, the more everyone's using it, people are going to get comfortable with it, learn how to use it, and you'll see that the shows, like the 6 screens, are will get better and better and better. So that's all we have to do. 3 in the lodge here, the 33 Club. Yeah. So guys, is that all? Is that all for tonight? Did you guys like the show on quantum ignorance, a new system of ignorance, or did you like the team apostate versus team whistleblower? Which one is Angelina Jolie and which one is Jennifer Aniston? I don't know. Where do you find the link? I don't know. I'm looking at YouTube right here. It's at the top. It's pinned at the top of the live chat. See, it's pinned at the very top. Live chat, it's pinned. You click on that, it sends you over. If you want to be on the show with your beautiful face, fine. If not, just do that, and it covers up your face. Is Elvis all right? Blah blah. See now blah blah. Now you're doing it, man. Elvis in the club too. You're chilling. That's what we want. We want you to chill, man. Have fun here. No one's right. No one's wrong. We're all just having fun, and we want to hear everybody's opinions, but we don't want to. We don't want to be dogmatic. Yeah. So it sounds like blah blah blah, right here, man. It sounds like he's chilling and enjoying the show, enjoying the ride. That's the way it should be. CR doesn't work for me. Oh, Skinner. Blah 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 was blah 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 was a Mason. Oh man, I guess you have to be a Mason to know a Mason. I don't know. Set up phone? No. It's you're doing only StreamYard, because with StreamYard, I can cut you out. I can just, and also you can just hold in the background. So you can just hold. Set up phone. No. So all you have to do, I'm looking at it, guys. I'm looking at my YouTube page while it's live. On the top right-hand corner, I can see the live chat. And I pinned the StreamYard link. It's right there. You just click on that, and it'll take you into the show. Yeah, year I was Jehovah's Witness was a Freemason. Okay. StreamYard. Yeah. Just looking at. I will. Blah blah blah. I will. Shunning is in the eye of the beholder. Doesn't work for me. It must be your browser. Must be your browser. I guess you could call, and then I'd have to put you on speakerphone. But I'll turn the phone around so nobody sees your number. Oh, I see it. Thanks, Gigi. Yeah, it's at the top. See, once we started getting everybody on all of the channels, teaching them how to use it, they'll start using it. Trust me. Rick Farron needs to use more of the StreamYard with his collaborators. And it's worth it. And also, the other collaborators have to pay about $300 a year to get the maximum effect. And so, hey, that's very little, man. I mean, you guys are watching this show, man. Whip out a $20 bill and help somebody get it, to be able to upgrade. I'm not at that stage yet. I don't plan on being on other people's platforms. But if I wanted to be going live on the 6 screens, yeah, I definitely would pay for it. But if we want to get other people, yeah, we should be willing to help others. Man, what's $20? You lose $20 in your laundry sometimes. So let me see. I think that's it. This was an old one I wanted to get to. It appears that everyone is in a matrix and to disconnect is going offline. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. It's not salvation, but yeah, there's some truth to that. I use my phone, don't get browser stuff. So if you're using your phone and you just click on, if you go to the chat section, you'll see it. And that button right there should take you. Or you can just call the number. If you call me, if you know my number, I'll put you live. People will find the truth here. Yeah. And blah, blah, blah. People find the truth. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. And sometimes it's in the place that you least expect it. Like I said earlier, the person that you dislike the most is the one God's going to send to give you the truth, because he wants to know if you really, really love the truth, you'll accept it even from your worst enemy. That's just my opinion. But I've seen that happen in my personal life. Do I like the Spanish show on 6 screens? I don't know. And I could do Spanish. I've done a lot of Spanish videos, and my brother Jesse and I have gone on live a couple times. The thing is you have to do it regularly, and I get good results. I mean, I get good views and good comments, but my Spanish isn't up to speed. Oh, you would need my number. Oh, I thought you had my number. It's because Jesus is the truth. You just have to truly work hard to find it. My number's already there. In some of my old videos, I used to have an awake hotline. And it was during the days of the Australian Royal Commission. Oh, God. It was so hard. I mean, you're working, people call you in the middle of the night. And this was a very bad time. You got to understand, the Australian Royal Commission the years of the Australian Royal Commission, while that was happening live, people were losing it. People were losing it. And a lot of people were not just me, were taking phone calls from Jehovah's Witnesses all over the earth. I took a phone call on an awake hotline, my number, and guess what? She was in the same congregation as the elder that was lying and testifying at the Australian Royal Commission. Could you imagine? You're there looking at the elder in your congregation at the Australian Royal Commission, lying through his teeth. And you're a woman, and your whole world is now fallen. You have no worldly friends, you are now alone in an island. This lady, and she was, she wasn't like old, but she was already like in her retirement years, and she was devastated. She goes, Gilbert, this is the only number I can call. I could talk to a real life person. It was a very, very hard thing to do. So, Elaine, my number's out there. I just don't put it out no more. But yeah, it's definitely out there. And people find me, usually in the old videos, you'll see it. Okay. Nice comment, Ricky. Knew the girl from commission. Wow. So I think Elaine needs, I think you need an iPad. An iPad would do it. If you had an iPad, a tablet, it'd be a lot easier. Yeah, Arc was the greatest. Yeah, it was that Arc was the best time to be an. I'm telling you, being an apostate. That was maybe the best time to be an apostate. After that was when Ray France maybe published his book, right, Crisis of Conscience. But the Australian Royal Commission was the time. Was just it, man. It had everything. And we had J.W. Fairy Tale, Tony Prime, the bad boys of the VAH, all the great guys. Struggle, Eric at JW Struggle. Just everything was happening. Everything was happening. And it was just a beautiful time to be an apostate. And man, you know what, the things that you guys see now, like the infighting, like Jimmy Bell, like Gilbert, right? Hey, that's nothing. Way back then, man, we had some real drama shit. Selena, that's why I'm not afraid of Selena and the Jezebel. I've seen Jezebels. Way back in the ARC days, there was a lot of Jezebels, a lot of them. And so she's just one of many, that comes in to disrupt the scene. And hopefully she gets the help that she needs, But it was I thank God I was alive to see the Australian Royal Commission live in action. At first, I was trying to ignore it, like, but once I started, doing just a little bit of sitting down and drinking coffee and listening, and then, just hearing the horror stories, it completely, it completely validated everything I believed about that choosing the truth about the truth, choosing to be an apostate was the best decision I've ever made in my life. It really was. North Queensland, Australia, yeah. Awake Hotline. Oh, man, yeah, that's because of the Don't Do It, Bro. It was the Awake Hotline. Don't do it, bro. Remember that? Don't Taste Me, Bro. Wow, he remembers that. And so remember that guy that was being arrested way back in the day? He goes, "Don't tase me, bro." Well, that was the Awake Hotline, and the meme was Awake Hotline. Don't do it, bro, because there was suicides happening too, and everybody was getting suicide calls. Mike and Kim were getting suicide calls. Everybody that was taking phone calls was getting these calls. People were in shambles at that time. It was bad. 2018, yeah, it was. So if you guys weren't there, man, you guys missed a great time. And Linda, the great apostate, was there. She knows, man. It was a time to be a Jehovah's Witness. But you know what? 2023, 2024, it's also going to be a great time to be a Jehovah's Witness, ex-apostate. It's going to be a great time because the amount of people that are going to be leaving is going to be so. I think there's going to be more leaving than what we can actually handle. Like Jesus says, pray to the master that, you have more workers to the field. I really believe a lot of people, and also a lot of people who are pomos, right? Physically out, no, but mentally in, pomies, right? And they're, those are dangerous people. Those are the most dangerous. They're physically out, but they're still mentally in. And so those are in the millions of people. There are millions of people that are physically out of Watchtower, but mentally in. And that's why Watchtower uses that phrase, return to Jehovah, because they know that there's a lot of them out there. In Yuma, Arizona, there was a guy, he was a homo. The guy was a homo, big time, he was a homo. Nothing wrong with his homo, but he's a homo. He's a homosexual. That's who he is. But what did he do? Return to Jehovah. He felt bad and everything. And then he goes back, tries it. Then he goes back and becomes a homosexual. Listen, he's a homosexual. Leave him alone. No. Come back to Jehovah. No. Stay where you're at. He's happy. Just fix up your life. Dude, fix up your life. But they bring him in And now he's going back and forth, back and forth. They're messing up with this guy's brain. He's a friend of Jesse and I. We knew him. Dude, just stay. Stay in your camp. Stay over there with the homos. Go get the help that you need. But don't play this. Go back to Jehovah when you're a homosexual, because that's just going to mess you the hell up. That's like a blender. That's a mental blender. But Watchtower knows it, that the pomos, the physically out, mentally in, they're ripe for the picking, but they're also the most dangerous ones. Yeah. There is a rush now. There really is. Pray the sexuality away. Yeah. No, they just, come on. If someone's a homosexual, there's a homosexual. They should be amongst, we all, everyone needs to be, the Catholics go where the Catholics go, right? The Mormons go where the Mormons, everybody goes where they go. Well, the homosexuals have their community, they have their thing, but you're bringing people in that have no business in your religion. And you're putting them through a blender. And then there's no women that want to marry this guy. So he's a homosexual, he's trying to get straight, but he can't find a woman. He's all messed up. No, it's a recipe for disaster. If he wants to get help, if he wants to stay over there, there's plenty of help over there. There's a lot of good people over there that'll help him with whatever issues he has. The last people that are going to help him are Jehovah's Witnesses. They're only going to make everything worse. That's just my opinion, Bob. But yeah, I really think if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you're a homosexual, get the hell out of the Jehovah's Witnesses. They're only going to mess you up. Go somewhere else that can help you. And I think whatever advice, even though it may be bad, it's going to be way better than what you get at Jehovah's house. That's all I'm saying. They are sinking ship for every hole they try to plug, a new one emerges. That's a good point. They bail the water out, but there is more water that they can get rid of. Yeah. Wow, that is a very, very good illustration. Damn, that's a very good illustration. Yeah. I was at POMI for nearly 20 years when I woke up in 2017. Yeah, and you know what, Justin? You were probably a very dangerous person because, the POMIs are the ones that, that they will hurt an apostate thinking, well, I'm doing bad. I'm sinning against Jehovah, but I'll hurt this guy. I'll rat him out or whatever to try to score points for all the bad things. See, because they're messed up in the head. They're not thinking straight. They're POMIs. Yeah, POMIs are dangerous. Very dangerous people. If you don't want to date a POMI, you can date a POMO, right? Physically out, mentally out. Yeah, but you never want to date a POMI. Physically out, mentally in, those are dangerous. Never, ever get in any kind of sexual, marital, any kind of relationship with these people. They have to be completely out and completely embrace TAP. And then, they become normal. You can work with them, but you can't work with a POMI. I hope Jocelyn, I don't know, Jocelyn, am I right? Am I wrong? Jocelyn? Reddit and YouTube give new wake-ups. Confidence to leave and counsel. Oh, okay. Reddit and the YouTube give the new ex-Jehovah's Witnesses who wake up, confidence to leave and counsel. Yeah, and validation. And that's the other one, Elaine. Validation. They give them a lot. I've heard that word a lot. That, they validate, like you made the right decision. And the great majority of them leave and never come back. And that's a shame. They should come back for Christmas and at least come back and say hello. Elite support sexuality. Yep. JW, Jehovah's Debater says, JW gay for the stay. Gay for the stay. Oh, yeah. Could that be a song? I was POMI. It's the worst state of mind to be in. Yeah. POMI is, yeah, he's right. It's the worst state of mind. You're not only a danger to other people, but you're a danger to yourself. I would like Jocelyn to elaborate on that. I think if you're anything, get away from the J-dubs. I love that phrase, the J-dubs. And the one that would always say that to me was James Backwards. Hello, brothers and sisters. James Backwards. Because James, spelled backwards, is Samaj. That was his name. His name was Samaj. It's James spelled backwards. So he's James backwards. I love James backwards. Beautiful man. Beautiful man. I think if you're anything, get away from the J-Dubs. And J-Dubs, and he would always call them the Dubs, the J-Dubs. And I love that so much. And the reason I like that is because I love the J-Dubs. I don't like Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't. But I love the Dubs, man. See, J-Dubs is affectionate. I can affectionately call you the J-Dub. You're a J-Dub, man. It's okay. You're a J-Dub. It's okay. It's okay. Now, if I say you're Jehovah's Witness, he's a Jehovah's Witness. But I say, hey, he's a J-Dub. Oh, he's a J-Dub. I'll talk slower. Get away from the J-Dubs. But you're right, Bob Roberts. You're right. Yes, I'm right, according to Elaine Brain Drain. Elaine, I don't know why, man. It's 2023. You got to get with the program. You got to learn how to get into the StreamYard and a link and get on the show on the audio file. And I've heard you before on the 6th screen, so you do really good. And I think you were the one that was attacked by a bunch of hyenas, a bunch of wolves. I think it was her. Elaine Brain Drain was attacked by, and he's a nice guy, but not Wyatt, but Kurt. I think Kurt ripped in on you one time. It's like, man, like, what the hell? I like Elaine, man. Be cool with her. Nah, you're not too old. You're pretty cool. Yeah, she remembers that. And I was like, man, this girl, I think she was hanging out with Ricky Bobby one time or somebody. Like, shh, nah, don't be picking on women. But you know what happens? Yeah, Kurt is, you know what? This is the thing with Kurt, and I don't know about it. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I've received a few phone calls. I received one phone call from a guy, honest to God. He's in Mexico on like a cruise or something, vacation. He had to get away from his family in the United States. He had to just go to Mexico, clear his head. And as he's coming back on a cruise ship or whatever, I don't know what it was, but he told me that he believes that the Jehovah's Witness governing body has gone apostate like the days of Jesus. But he still believes that Jehovah Watchtower, the organization, is Jehovah's organization here on earth. They actually still believe that Jehovah has an organization here on earth. And Kurt believes, he likes the New World Translation, but he can't connect the dots that the New World is part of the New World Order. He can't do that. And then you show him Matthew 24, says the new system, Kurt, the new system. He can't, because there's a lot, I believe that there's a lot of people, and I believe my brother-in-law is one of those people as well, where they believe that, yeah, it's all filled with problems, but Jehovah still has an organization here on earth. And I think that's just my gut feeling. I may be wrong, but I think Kurt falls in that camp. I don't know. He's not a cult leader. I actually like him. I think he's a nice guy. Kurt, you don't want to know. If you say Kurt who, trust me, you're better off not knowing. Now, this is the one I've been waiting for. I want to know what her opinion. It was torture being a Pomey. I was a danger to myself. See. Never turned anyone in, but I would defend the beliefs. My life was ruled by guilt. My decision being made based on my indoctrination. And you know what, Justin? I was having this conversation with somebody earlier today, and yeah, sometimes my life is ruled a little bit by guilt, or my decisions are based a little bit about my past indoctrination. I wonder sometimes, and I'm always, praying and like, am I making the right decision, or is my thinking right or wrong? But yeah, but I'm aware of what you're saying. That's my fear. My fear is that right now, today, in 2023, that my life could be ruled by guilt. That the decisions I make in my life are still based on the Jehovah's Witness indoctrination. I really do. So I totally understand. And this is a great comment right here. Great comment. He just is too preachy. Correct. He's just too preachy. No J in Hebrew language. That's right. I like that. And you can see that as proof and evidence on the Indiana Jones show. Come on, guys, compare Psalms 2:12. It's to honor the Son or arm yourself with purity, which is the one is corrupted version. That's a good question. I will tell you this. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna read it tonight. I'm gonna do okay. Jalap, I'm gonna read it. But now that you mentioned Psalms 2, you know the beautiful thing about Psalms 2? There was a beautiful song that Watchtower had called Así no quieren perecer, besen al Hijo de Jehová. If you don't want to perish, kiss the Son of Man, the Son of God. And it was based on Psalms 2. And when the Gray Bible came out, they got rid of the word kiss the Son. Psalms 2. At the very end of Psalms 2, it says kiss the Son. Not only did Jehovah's Witnesses get rid of that from their Bible, they got rid of it from their song. I think it was song 168 in the old Brown Kingdom Melodies book. Kingdom Melodies 168. Kiss the Son of Man. Wow, such a beautiful song. And Jehovah's Witnesses don't kiss the Son anymore. Wow. Pomies still recruit for the tower. Yes, they do. Pomie means a whistle to blow. I don't know. Possible. Well, guys, I don't think we have any more comments unless we got some more. 11 people watching. You guys want to burn the midnight oil? You guys have some questions? You guys need spiritual guidance? Because it's already Sunday on for most of you, so we can talk about religion. So, does anybody have any more questions? Man, it's good water. No one streams in. I know. People are afraid of me. People are afraid of my aura. I don't know what it is. About to go chop up some firewood. You should. You should. Go chop up some firewood. Okay, guys, I think that's it. We're not going to burn the midnight oil today. We're not going to burn it. And, man, I got to talk to Jesse because, man, look at right here. I got to talk to Jesse. Man, he was ripping in on my friend. And then my friend in Africa. Jesse came in with a bad mood. That was funny. I'll call in next time. Yeah, use the StreamYard link. So, guys, I hope that's all I got for today. I hope you guys like the show. I hope I went over everybody's questions or comments. And I also want you to think about picking a side. Do you want to be on Angelina Jolie's side or Jennifer Aniston? Team apostate or team whistleblower? Physically out, mentally in. And what is the true meaning of apostasy? I don't know. I've read a lot of definitions about it. But, you know, when people say that Jesus was an apostate or John the Baptist and stuff, it kind of helps put everything into perspective. So, are you team whistle? No, this is how you. No. You have to say this, team. You got to do that, team whistleblower, or you do hashtag team apostate. Like that. So you pick that team or you pick that team. I think if someone's turned away from the truth, you know what, Jalaf, I don't think so. I think I think anybody can be an apostate of any church, and they're tired of the hierarchy. So like the Lutherans or the Episcopalians, they were apostates of the Catholic Church. So it doesn't have to be the truth, but I do like your definition of it. They turn away. I like it, but I really think that anybody can be an apostate in any religion. is the point. Yeah. So this is interesting right here. So it could even just be a political belief. So you could be an apostate from a political belief. Wow. TW. So Elaine, what is it? Which one is it, Elaine? Your team whistleblower? Oh man, I thought you were going to be team apostate, but that's cool. We need people on both sides. All right. Wow. Oh man. So I got to work hard to convert and bring her into the other side, the team apostate side. Yeah, I gotta go to my Jehovah's Witness training and bring her back. Return, Elaine Brain Drain. Return to the good side, team apostate. Oh man, we got some work cut out for us. So guys, thank you for chatting it up. Thank you for chatting it up. It's 11:30 and Elaine is having a blast. She thinks it's funny and she knows that she's being cooked by the GG for GB and we're going to bring her to Team Apostate. She's just playing hard to get. That's what I think. So that's what I think. But I really do believe it. In my heart of hearts, I'm all for everybody. You know, man, I'm for everybody doing whatever they need to do. I'm only on Team Allah. Good for you. See, he's on Team Allah, man. That's good. Good. And he should bring people to his team, and they should enjoy life. We just don't want to drag people into the team. Bring people into the team. And like Dan says, you can always leave and return. You can always leave and return. Joelle and Anestide are both males. I wonder what that means. Oh, Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston are both males. Oh man, what the hell? What have I been living underneath a rock? What am I missing? They don't look male to me. I mean, Angelina Jolie used to be beautiful, but what happened? You know, I don't know. Maybe that's what happens when you're out there stealing husbands, you know. And I think the other girl, Jennifer Aniston, I think she made a new movie, right? And she looks pretty good on that one. So I just saw a demo on it. I don't like Watchtower labels like apostate. Well, see, that's fine. That's fine. I like the Watchtower label as apostate because Raymond France was an apostate, and the generation of Raymond France and before, and the generation of Raymond France and above. And I love the term apostate, but that's why it doesn't bother me that people don't like it. And it has so much to do like staying within the religion. So I could totally understand why people say, you know what, I want to break free from the religious stuff, the religious power, and Team Whistleblower resounds with me. Totally understand it. And I encourage people to go to there. I just don't think we should drag anybody in either direction. And I don't think Jimmy Bale wants to drag anybody in either direction. I think it's a good movement. It has. I don't think there's anybody writing the playbook like Selena said. I don't think so. And I think the intentions are noble. So all the power to them. Jesus Christ, and you know this, Elaine. Jesus Christ said this. That if they're not, the apostles are like, look at those guys, look at those guys, look at those guys. They call themselves whistleblowers. And Jesus says, if they're not against you, they're with you. So if they're not against us, go. You're not against me. I'm not against you. That should be the attitude. Go. Because we're going to kill Watchtower by a death of 1,000 paper cuts. 1,000 of us beating down the door in different directions. That's how it's going to happen. So she's, Elaine is on the other team, but you're coming back. You're coming back, Elaine. You're coming back. You said it yourself. Yep, you're coming back. We want you on our team. But like Dan says, go. You'll always come back. You can always come back. Look at them now. They sold their soul to the devil. Hollywood is full of inverts. True, true. They burn apostates figuratively. Yes, they do. Ray France, top guy. And I want to be with Ray France. You know, he's my kind of guy. And Elaine, see, she's laughing because she knows, man, her home is here. She wants to go on vacation to Europe, you know, with the whistleblowers, whatever. But her home is here. God's country, Arizona. That's where it's at. So, guys, 10 viewers, talk to me. Burn the midnight oil. I'm doing it for Rick because I think we have one more week and we're going to hand over this show. I'm doing this for one reason and one reason only, because of Linda James. We want Linda James to be successful, and Rick, and I'm going to tell everybody, I want everybody advertising and gunning for Linda James on the late night. That's hard work. And so we're doing it for her. We're trying to keep the midnight oil burning, and because we love our sister. She's a great gal. And even though she's from Southern California, you know, not the smartest people from California, but oh, we love to tease Californians. We love to tease them. How would Watchtower fall? How would Watchtower fall? This is my belief. You, blah, 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 nobody. None of us can destroy Watchtower. Get that through our head. None of us can destroy Watchtower. It's too powerful. But death by 1,000 paper cuts. And this is the beautiful thing. You know, imagine if Jesus did all the work. Then what do we do? We just sit here and watch? No. We work alongside God. We work alongside the Creator. So God wants us to work with Him. So the destruction of Watchtower is going to be, they're going to do it basically, they're going to destroy themselves. But all of the work that we're doing does not, all of the work that you and I are doing helps in their own demise. And that's the beautiful thing about God not doing all the work. When you say, well, God's going to help OG. No. God wants us to participate and have, and the beautiful thing that Watchtower is slowly leaking people is that every single one of you has an opportunity to help people leave. You know, I was talking to Nadine about that, and I go, you know, Nadine, it's great that a whole bunch of that all of these apostates didn't destroy Watchtower, because she has a lot of friends that are leaving and they go to her and she talks to them. So one person is instrumental in helping a lot of people leave Watchtower. So Elaine, you need to connect your mic camera. There's a place on the top of the browser that gives it permission. You give it permission. So you know where it says StreamYard.com on your browser? You go to the right, there's like buttons, and one of those buttons in my browser has like a camera, and when you click on it, you give it permission. There's a place so you have to give it permission. For some reason, it's not popping up and giving you permission. So how would Watchtower fall? You know, blah, blah. I hope that answers your question. It's going to, one, fall on its own. But when there's enough people doing the work and you have that exodus, that rush, they'll fall into the hands of people like you, people like Elaine, people like Nadine, people like Rick Farron. And you'll be able there, and then you'll be able to help people out. That's the whole point. Jesus came down to a flat, stationary earth, not spinning ball. Vancouver. Man, you know, on that about the flat earth thing, Andy, I really think that my brother Jesse's onto something when he says, I don't believe in flat earth and all that other stuff, even round earth. I don't believe in a lot of things, but what I do believe is that we've been lied to a lot about everything. And the reason why it's all computer generated images and the reason they don't show us real pictures is because Jesse says, the heavens declare the glory of God. If we could actually see the real thing, it would just be glorious. And I think that's being hidden from us. No, keep the channel. I get blocked on that show. Okay. 6 screens blocks too easy. Yeah. I don't think Rick Farron blocks people. I don't know. I feel bad for Warwick Pimo Bethelite. I don't know, you know. The only thing I don't like, this is the thing about, I'll tell you about my problem with Warwick Pimo. I said it before. This is the problem I have with a lot of you Pimos. At some point, you see this? These are Pimos. They're anonymous. At some point, it's okay to be Pimo, but at some point you need to leave. And you need to be transparent and out in the open. That's all I'm saying. You do not want to live, you know, in hiding for too long. It's just not healthy. Case in point, biblically speaking, Nicodemus. Nicodemus was a Pimo, physically in, mentally out, questioning. But there was a point where he had to make a break. That's all I'm saying. So do I feel bad for Warwick Pimo? Not really. But you do, and that's good. Because when he leaves, he's going to go to you for support, not me. Good. Tried and failed. Yeah, I don't know, Elaine. It said that you wanted to come in, but your device, your phone, was not giving it permission. For some reason, like, you have to find the part in your phone that says, yes, use my microphone. Flat Earthers. It looks like Ricky Bobby's on Team Flat Earth. And he brings out a good point. The day you're born, you are lied to. Dang straight. But Warwick Pimo was our spy. He sacrificed. Okay, yeah. And you know what? The other thing too is this. I got an email from this girl, and she told me, she goes, Gilbert, she goes, I totally understand what you're saying. I really, really believed that there was somebody on the inside. I wanted to believe that somebody on the inside was leaking and working for us. See, so a lot of time, my brother Jesse addressed this. A lot of you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses are hungry, are literally starving for a win. You're starving to see the governing body members in orange jumpsuits. You want it bad. The problem is people like Warwick Pimo or others could come in and take advantage of you because you're in that state of wanting it bad. So all I'm saying is just be careful. Just be careful. Don't, you know, if it's gonna happen on its own, and just always be careful of anything anonymous, because the greatest people on earth were not anonymous. That's all I'm saying. And that's been my years and years of experience as a Jehovah's Witness apostate. Yes, click the buttons. They didn't work. I wonder why. I don't know, man. That's a good one. The earth is shaped like an egg. Yeah. Are ex-witnesses ever going to be able to move on from the organization? We discussed that today, and no. Because many have entered the event horizon. And once you enter the event horizon, you're going to get sucked into the black hole. It's just a matter of time. Fran and Joe paired me with a Pomey. It's a challenge. Wow. So it was a return visit that was passed on to you. Look at, man, Joe and Fran are out, and they still have return visits. Man, those guys are loyal to the bone. Man, those guys are good. They still got return visits. So guys, we still got the 10 people burning the midnight oil with ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. I think that's all I got. Now we got 9. All right, guys. I better call it a night. Don't forget to please say a prayer, give your positive energy, whatever it is you do, for Susan. Man, Susan's always been good to me. I mean, she's always been very kind to me on the 6 screens. I mean, I'm serious. She's always been so kind to me. And yeah, man, I'm grateful. Yeah, she's a beautiful woman, and want to definitely pray for her. A careful read of Genesis 1 reveals a stationary earth. 7 years ago, I figured it out. Joshua 10:12. Sun stood still, hence it's moving, not earth. Hey, man, that's deep stuff. I don't know. I love to talk about that, Andy. I do. But on that subject, I talk about it like one on one on the phone, stuff like that. A great YouTuber, XJW Leanne. She's the one, the singer and stuff, and she did a thing with Jimmy Bell and others. She brought in that flat Earth guy. She did like 3 episodes on flat Earth. She wanted me to come on, but I was like, no, because you know what the thing, Andy, is I don't have the experience or the knowledge, and so like Clint Eastwood says, every man needs to know his limitations. You're way up to speed. You're way up to speed on this, and I'm way behind, man. I'm way behind. So I love listening to you and others talk about this, but man, I'm telling you, I'm way behind on the subject matter. Night from Australia, Queensland, and we got a 10th person in, despite Australia leaving. Andy, you could be totally right. Yeah. Like I said, that's why. But my brother Jesse, I think, says it the best, that the atheists and the flat earthers have one thing in common: they ask the best questions. They really do. The atheists and the flat earthers ask very good questions, and that's why they hate them. That's why they're hated, because they ask good questions. And so, if you believe in flat Earth, if you're an atheist, pat yourself on the back, because you. I hate to use this word, but you really are critical thinkers. You're pushing the limits, which is good. Did you guys like that? That was good, huh? That was good. Man, I even impressed myself with that. It's like, yeah, good job, good job. That was really good. So see, wow, look at, even she said, yep, that was good, man. I was like, pat myself in the back. But really, I got to give that to Jesse, because Jesse's the one that taught me that. Yeah, and I believe it. Oh no, 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 no. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Okay, okay, guys. Oh man, I have to be so tactful. Yeah, just and let it slide. And also, Elaine, all you have to do is have a sense of humor. Yeah, let it go, man. I mean, that's funny. That's funny. And you don't. And Clint Eastwood is right. You got to know your limitations. Just know your limitations. That right there helped me out a lot. Clint Eastwood. Every man needs to know his limitations. It's so true. Atheists find God too. Of course they do. Yeah, just let them. Yeah, let them enjoy the ride. Not easy. I know. No, you're right. I was removed as an elder for 25 years for simply question. Oh man, really? I was removed as an elder because I bought a lottery ticket, made a lot of money, and I went to the whorehouses in Nevada. I was disfellowshipped. Like I went to all the women in New York City. Blah, 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 blah. This guy, big crimes. Andy, you were removed as an elder for 25 years for simply questioning the earth shape. I mean, of all the towns and all the gin joints, of all the reasons you could have been disfellowshipped, smoking pot, right? Watching, looking at some good old 1970s Playboys or something. You were disfellowshipped for the earth shape. Man, Andy, I feel sorry for you. Like of all the things, man. Andy, wow. Like, I got disfellowship for this. Wow, Andy, that was awesome. That was awesome. Flat Earther, yeah. That's hilarious. Andy, we gotta pray for Andy also. So, guys, tonight, tonight. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I have it. Let me see if I have it. Oh no. Man, I know I have it. My favorite, yeah, my favorite. Here it is. I didn't go. I want to testify. I don't know what I did, guys. I used to have this video that I used to pop up all the time. You guys seen it when George Costanza. Remember George Costanza is saying that he's Lord of the idiots. Let me see if he idiots. Here it is.
For I am Costanza, Lord of the idiots.
Okay. We have a lot of idiots in the Jehovah's Witness world, right? The Lord of the idiots that got disfellowship for a lot of things.
But suddenly a new contender has emerged.
He was removed as an elder for 25 years for simply questioning the earth shapes. Andy, man, you are a contender for top place, man. I mean, I have yet to hear anything wow. You know, Dan and Angela, Dan talks about choking the chicken and, you know, the elders, you know, going back and forth, you know, how are you doing this week? Did you choke the chicken at all this week? And, you know, all that other stuff, you know, we're going to put you under proof. You know, I don't think anybody's gotten disfellowship for choking the chicken, but you, man, you are under contention. And there's Andy, laugh out loud. Yeah, man, roll with it, have fun with it. Like you said, some of us didn't study physics, can't argue flat earth. That's right. That's right. Fact, my brother. Yeah. Wow. Yep. Snipers have to account for. Yep. And called. So, man, did you like that, Andy? Whoa, that was a good clip. We want proof, Andy. Sure. You know what, Elaine? That's probably a cover. He's probably covering for real crimes and misdemeanors. Sure, Andy. What were the real crimes and the real misdemeanors? We want proof, Andy. We want proof. Oh, a true sniper. Oh, okay. A true sniper account for wind, not Coriolis. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. It's above my pay grade. So, guys, that's all we have. Great clip. Yes, great clip. You're the contender, man. You're the contender. Elaine, you got your homework so you can get back on the show. I would like to tell the org they're not going to heaven because they're not pure virgins. Yeah, what is that thing about the virgin thing? I mean, is it sexual virgins? Is it virgins? I mean, what is it? I don't know. Is it figurative? And if it's figurative, I don't know. I'm not a Bible scholar, and I don't think anybody has the answers. Wow. And I don't know. They're not pure virgins. And okay, let me. Is Mark? We're gonna do it. We have to do a video on this, guys. Let's do this. Okay, and it was a D. I just wrong. Is Mark Sanderson a virgin? Here you have 50 plus member of the governing body who's a virgin, never been married, well, he has to be a virgin. If he's a leader of a religious organization called the Jehovah's Witnesses, Mark Sanderson has to be a virgin. Now, listen, there are people who dedicate themselves to prayer and fasting and studying the Bible. I'm going to give it. They're out there. They're out there. And some of them are virgins. Some of them also perhaps are widowed or whatever. And they are chaste. And you can tell by the way they talk. You could just tell. But you mean to tell me that Mark Sanderson is a virgin? When you listen to him speak, does he sound like one of those men that goes into prayer and fasting, that is dedicated to the study of the scriptures? A virgin? I just don't see it. I don't see it. Ooh, I can't even think of a woman who wants to. Or a guy. See, that's the problem. I can't think of a woman. You don't have to have sex with a woman to lose your virginity. I'm just saying. Is a 50 plus year old member of the governing body a virgin? Yes, it could happen, very well happen. But you have to listen to these guys speak. They don't sound like men that are contemplating, meditating, fasting, praying, and dwelling in the scriptures. You could feel it, man. They don't have that vibe. But yet he's a virgin. That's a good question. That's a good, yeah. I know that's a dirty subject. That would turn this into a rated X show. Or perhaps, no, I just, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it up, man. 8:00. You know what? We got 3 minutes for midnight. We'll close it up in 3 minutes. Doing this for you, Linda. We got to keep the tradition alive for Linda and all of you other XJWs. So if you're not a virgin, no heaven? No, I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking a question. Is Mark Sanderson, a 50-year-old governing body member, a virgin? Does he come across to you as a virgin? I would assume he indulges in many things. It's all in the way a man talks and how he, the things that come out of his mouth. You can tell a lot about a person, and we can make mistakes, but these men are trying to tell you, I'm a leader of an international religious group headed by Jehovah, and I'm, a member of the governing body and like one of the 12 apostles, and I'm dedicated to prayer, fasting, and studying the scriptures. I don't get that vibe. I get this vibe, what Jocelyn is saying. I think you are the exact, I just don't buy it. So, food and drink. Definitely food. He's a real big guy. Drink. Who knows what else? He's also probably a big guy because he doesn't have a wife and no one's there to take care of him. But yeah, no. These virgins could be the innocent, blameless children destroyed by Herod. Who knows how many were actually killed? Yeah. I don't know. That's deep stuff, man. Yeah. But they were definitely not in Watchtower. There's no very few virgins in Warwick. There's very few virgins in Warwick. And you can go talk to Marcus Vaughn, and if you're a virgin, they chase you out. They chase you out. They're feasting and not fasting. 12 o'clock, guys. It's 12 o'clock. And that's all we got. I'm going to go to sleep. And I hope Linda James is with you next week. And she can carry on the torch and the tradition of the 6 screens. And we'll see you, God willing, tomorrow, where we're going to be discussing Team Apostate, Team Whistleblower. All right.